Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Friday and you know what that means, another Montreal Canadiens video. We're almost at the end of May, meaning we're just under 1 month from the NHL's draft, and that's going to be a big month for the Montreal Canadiens. They're going to have a lot of business to take care of leading up to the draft, at the draft, and potentially after it. But this video, I want to focus in on the Montreal Canadiens goaltending situation, which is currently headlined by Samuel Montembeault, who's putting on a performance for the ages with Team Canada at the World Championships. He's made 5 starts to this point. He's putting up fantastic numbers, just under a .950 save percentage, and he's really making a case that the Montreal Canadiens should extend his contract now and get him as part of the solution for their goaltending position moving forward. This is just a goaltender that was kind of a lottery ticket for the Montreal Canadiens. They claimed him off waivers because of him being the third goalie in Florida and then having to put him on waivers. The Canadiens needed more goaltending depth at the position when they claimed him, and he's performed admirably since giving the chance to be the Montreal Canadiens at least starter or 1B, whatever you want to call him. He's still been a valid starting goaltender for this team over the last season. He kind of was thrown into the fire considering that this isn't a team that boasts a strong defense at the moment. There's a lot of grade A, high danger chances. Montembeault has done a good job at limiting the results from those chances, but you can only do so much. That's why if you look at his numbers, you're not going to jump off the page at them and scream, this is a future Vezina winner, this is a future high-end goalie. This is just someone that makes a lot of sense for the Montreal Canadiens to extend at the moment. I'm not really sure what the conversation will be surrounding him in terms of what this extension would look like. I don't think they're going to go into a long-term deal with him. I don't know how Ken Hughes feels about those deals just yet at this point. I get the sense, being a former agent, that he's not really jumping off the page to really extend someone at the long-term variety when it comes to someone that you're not really too sure on yet. I think a 2 or a 3-year extension makes a lot of sense for Montembeault. The longer you go, though, the more you're going to drag down the average annual value, and I think that is important in this conversation. I think a 3-year deal makes a lot of sense at around $3.5 million per season. I don't think that Montembeault is ever going to be a goalie that's going to lead you to a Stanley Cup. But the NHL is kind of showing right now that you can win with a tandem. You don't necessarily need that number one goalie like the Carey Price that can lead you all the way to the promised land. Sure, there's the counter argument that Sergei Bobrovsky is going above and beyond right now for the Florida Panthers and led them to the Stanley Cup, where they have a chance to face either Vegas or Dallas moving forward. But I just don't believe that this makes a lot of sense right now for the Montreal Canadiens to go beyond a 3-year contract for Montembeault. He still has 1 year remaining on his deal, but I do think they'd be wise to kind of start those negotiations now. Montembeault is proving to be more than just a flash in the pan. He's showing it for Team Canada on the world stage, and that's kind of in a situation where there's not really a lot on this Team Canada right now that is to be in terms of bright spots. So you kind of just have to go with what he's giving you, and he's showing you that he's a really high-end goalie right now. And there's no reason they shouldn't at least be considering extending him, which I'm sure they are at least looking into that at the moment. This is a goaltender that is a really good transition option. I think they're going to focus on potentially picking a goaltender high in this draft, as soon as potentially even their second round pick, 37th overall this year. I don't know if they're going to use the 31st or 32nd overall pick, whatever that is, on a player like they did last year, like Owen Beck. It really depends on who falls their way, what options they have in that selection. But for right now, I think the Montreal Canadiens would be wise to extend Samuel Montembeault, really make that effort to have that goaltender that you can rely on, but not overpay at the position. That's it for me today from Cook's Corner. As always, let me know in the comment section down below what you think a Samuel Montembeault extension would look like, and if you even think the Montreal Canadiens should look into extending Montembeault. I'm Zach Cook. We'll see you later.